Hey everybody, welcome to Sufficiently Weird. Today's going to be a little bit different because I have with me guest artist,
Simland!
Samland! We didn't even plan that, and that was so good.
No,
I'm your
whoa.
host, Tim O'Brien, co-creator of Chaotic Create Games, makers of Gudnak. And the reason I have Sam with me is that 3 years ago, don't say that, you and I
God,
met
we're old.
at a convention called Origins. Do you remember this moment, Sam?
Not really.
Great,
I
great.
was trying to remember how we met, and I remembered that I don't know if I met you first or if that was like Max and Miles when they went off to go talk to
I
people,
think
and
it
then I
might have
like
been,
met
yeah.
you. Yeah, and then like Max was like, "Look at this cool game that I got," and I was like, "Oh, that sounds so sick." And then I went over because I was obsessed with y'all's art, and I love Victoria's art, like
Yeah.
peak. And then it was just from there. I don't know.
And then you managed to turn that into a business relationship because you're just a successful salesperson. Yeah, so a little bit of background about Sam. Sam, you and a bunch of people in your like sphere, right? Like all have started this company and you work on games on your own. Is that right? Do you want to tell us a little bit about RPG Co?
Yeah, for sure. So RPG Co. is made from my two brother-in-laws, my husband, and myself. So Miles, my brother-in-law, came to us with the idea for a game. We all love games. Max and I work in games as a job. Max works as a game designer. I work currently as a freelance artist. Miles is an amazing coder, and then Mason is also a great game designer, which is my other brother-in-law. So we were like, well, hell yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
So we formed our working partnership, and
right.
it's been a dream since then.
It's almost like one of these brothers was like, okay, we got to marry an artist because we don't have that. Like, we've got two dudes with ideas, one guy can write code. We need to like start making like medieval alliances. You know how they like would marry off?
Yeah, no, where you marry up or whatever. It's like, oh, that's the resource. My dowry was my art,
Yeah. Oh,
obviously.
so smart. So smart. Yeah, that's what we got these days. Yeah. So you guys all have been working together for, I would say, like, has it been around like 4 years that you've been working on stuff together?
Yeah, I suppose so at this point. Oh,
That's
sorry, my cat has come to join us.
what's
I will look like an evil
oh my
scientist.
god.
Yeah, it's been about 4 years. We've done a couple different ideas together so far. And I don't know, I love working with them. Obviously it's a different type of working relationship than like a classic indie studio,
Right.
because we all have jobs at the same time. So
Right.
this is all in our free time,
Yeah.
because we love the game.
And it's so interesting that your main job is also in games, and then this is it. So it's not even like you have this big context switch where you're like, I'm a barista, and then I work on games. It's like no,
Yeah.
you can go do more of your main job also at night, which I find impressive. But I guess the for the audience, the your main job is mostly in video games. Is that fair to say?
I've actually been jumping around. I started in games as a concept artist and ended up being like producer kind of level. I left production probably 3 years ago, 2 years ago at this point, to completely just go down freelance art. Since then, I've been working on illustrations, marketing assets, and I've had some gallery showcases at this point. So
You,
I'm working kind of in shows
oh,
and movies at the
you
moment.
keep saying things that are getting my FOMO triggered. Before we started recording, you said something about a book. Now you're talking about galleries, and it's all getting me very upset. It's all very upsetting to me. I have art FOMO to the highest degree. I think the things that I've interacted with RPG Co. the most have been your art products. With no disrespect to the boys in the game design, like your art is in my daughter's room, your art is in this office, and like
Aw,
who
so
cares? Like I
sweet.
guess they make a game. I guess they make a game. Who cares? Like
They're smart.
I bet, I bet it's a fine game, right? But look, there's some cool art. So yeah, I'm holding with me kind of the first piece that you did. And this thing has, I think, some of the most interesting backstory. So now, and
Mhm.
you know this now because you've been at some conventions. One of the things that happens when you're boothing at a convention is a lot of folks walk up to you and they're like, "Hey, I'm interested in getting into games," and then something follows. And
Yeah.
it can be hard because you don't have a lot of time in the moment to be like, okay, is this person like just starting? This is their dream, or are they legit? And I think you did a pretty crazy thing to be like, oh yeah, I'm wicked legit. Pardon my Boston term there. But you drew a griff dog
Mhm.
at the convention at night. Is that right?
Yeah, no, and I wasn't trying to make like any kind of business connection with you, to be completely honest. I was like, oh, I like their game, I like their art. I think you were like, oh, I dare you to draw a Griff dog.
Did
And
I
I
say
was
that?
like, bet. Yeah, no, you did. And I was like, bet. And so at dinner, I was like, well, I draw I draw animals all the time.
Oh,
Like
and
the
this.
comic that I'm working on in my free time is animals.
Oh,
So I was
really?
like, fuck it. And
Yeah.
so I drew a Griff dog at dinner, and then I presented it to you the next day,
Oh
and
my
you like
gosh. And
crashed out about it.
not just any Griff dog. Like this guy is fantastic. He's got so I think we can put the art on screen right now for people, but he's got this like face that is the perfect stupid dog face is what I'll say. Like, you know, when the dog is so cute that
So
they're
good.
so stupid looking, and this guy is
Yeah.
the ultimate little dummy. He's got the tongue out, which is just what you need. And then I think more than even the regular Griff dogs, you show that this is actually from the bottom half down. We got a bird here. Like this is
Yeah.
this is a bird. Now, how did this pose come to you? Is this like a pose that you've drawn before because you like have drawn animals, or were you just like, oh, it'd be cool to have them roly poly?
I mean, I've drawn a lot of animals. I think the hardest part with animals is trying to come up with unique poses.
Oh, really?
And so basically what I did is I wanted it to feel fluid. So I just drew the curve, and then I drew his pose along the curve because I wanted his whole body motion to kind of go up and along with his
Yeah.
tail. So
Oh, just
that
absolutely great. And so your process here, this guy is not on background, so we're just figure here. I'm looking at your other alt
yeah.
arts. Like, did you do this? Did you like travel with an iPad or something? Is that what you had?
Yeah, I had an iPad. If I had known it was going to be card art, I would have done something better and like with a background.
Stop it.
But I wasn't expecting that. I was just like, oh, this is just fan art for them because
No.
I think what they're doing is cool.
I mean,
So
and honestly, it could have died like that. Like it could have just been. We've received some sketches like that before, but this one just like had to make it. So the story behind that is that we then we were at that point we had no intention of doing these alt art packs, and then like a year later, I think we wanted to produce a sample one that we'd give away to people, but also like as a way to like just test our production on randomized packs. And so we just emailed you and were like, can we just include this in the thing? And you said yes, and here we are, which is just unbelievable.
which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, so like I guess when you drew it, like you didn't even know that we. To reinforce your point of not trying to like make a business connection, you're like, we didn't even have business to give you at that point.
Yeah, I just thought I just thought the character design was cool. I just
Yeah.
wanted to draw a cool dog.
Oh.
If anything, when you told me you wanted to print it, I was so embarrassed.
Oh,
I was
for
like,
real?
oh my god.
No.
Well, yeah, because as an artist or a creator, I'm sure you know, as a designer, like sometimes you make something and you like in the moment, and then you move on. You're like, oh, I could have done
Sure.
better.
Sure.
You know. So
Yeah, I mean, I think that of people I've worked with, you're very hard on yourself as compared to others. Sometimes I think like she can't be serious because this stuff is so good. But you're just a very humble person. But this thing's amazing, and I'll say even when you're not around, people say that that this Griff dog is a top tier Griff dog. So I'm very
so
happy it's in
kind.
print. It is very hard to find. Like I said, we only produced a couple hundred of those packs. It wasn't in every pack, and so. Especially this one, which I keep usually in the studio background, is just it's treasured because it's signed by you and I love it. So yeah, let's fast forward a little bit. So then you were certainly on the top of the list just because you had already like had a card that we printed, but we started doing this Gudnak alt art project. So when was the first time that you heard about that? Did we talk in person or did I email you about it?
Yeah, I think we were at a con, and you know, every con, once you make a friend at a con,
Yeah,
you
right.
always do the rounds, and
Right.
you make sure that you say hi to everybody that you've missed and you want to see. And so I think I made the rounds over to you, and we were shooting the shit, and you're like, oh, like we're doing alt art, and I was like, that'd be sick, I'd be down.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many can I give you? So I think we kind of went from there.
Yeah, that was one of the hard parts of like the alt art we did. We kind of figured early on that our players would want to like collect a few pieces, which has like kind of played out that way. And so we wanted to make sure that we could sign you up to do like a good chunk, which obviously as a working artist, like it is harder to do like 5 to 10 pieces than it is to fit in like one, right? But you very graciously ended up doing 5 for us, if I'm not mistaken. Am I counting that right? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you did. I did 5.
Oh, it's great. And so at that point, were we giving you the option of saying like, where do you want to go with it, or had we narrowed down at the point that we started working with you?
So you gave me a spreadsheet of all the ones that were still open that
Got
were
it.
unclaimed,
Yeah.
and so I was able to choose from there. But I also remember Victoria hadn't made like a like this is what each faction is yet, so
Mm,
I think I was waiting on that because I wanted to make sure I followed Victoria's like art
right.
direction
Right.
because I y'all's characters.
Yeah.
Like I can expand upon it, but it needs to be on like a base, like a bones,
Yeah.
right? And I need to make sure I
Totally.
don't break the core rules of it.
Right.
So I think I waited on that, but otherwise you're like just go ham. So I
Yeah.
just designed what I was inspired by based off the art and the character
So, what
inspirations.
was your selection process like? If you like, don't mind sharing, like, why did you end up on Shardsworn and Refractory and the Dragon and the Bulgariff Rider?
Well, for the shards, I really like magenta. I
Oh,
mean,
there you
our
go.
art is CMYK, yeah. So I was like, oh, this is sick,
Yeah.
and I really like drawing like fun, funky shapes. And I also love creatures. So the chimera was obvious.
Yeah.
The dragon was obvious. I have a really good friend who loves dragons, and I
Sure.
was like, well,
Yeah.
I got to do it for him because he'll like go crazy.
Yeah. There you go.
Um, and then I think I really liked my signature has a sun in it. Like sun is a motif that I really
Sure.
enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why I picked I forgot the name of them. The sun
Refractory. Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
The Sun
refractory.
people.
I thought they were cool.
Yeah.
The sun people,
Sun people. Whatever.
those
It's
guys.
just a bunch of Sun people. I work so hard on their backstories, Sam.
I
It's,
know I'm evil.
yeah,
I should have
whatever.
read like all of it before coming, so I could have
Yeah.
had a better
Actually, we're
sneak
gonna
peek.
stop recording and re-record everything now. Like it made sense certainly after like seeing the dog that you did that you were going to go creatures. Although Reckless Chimera and Griff Dog might be about on as opposite of spectrum of creature as you can imagine in a fantasy world,
Yeah.
like lovable dog and then like I don't know insane mutant thing. So talk to me. You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but drawing like from your brain like you do for your work as a concept artist versus like following someone else's character design. I mean, these are so in your style, but they are the characters that Vittoria did. Like, how do you kind of manage to like bring your style into it enough, but still follow the rules, like, and not just do like a photocopy basically of it? Like, how do you manage to do that?
That's fair. I think a large part is that I know my own style. I know my own artistic identity at this point. So I can style match for sure. But as obviously a guest artist, you're hoping to have a different expression, but still within the same like family of this is the character, right? Like it shouldn't just be like whatever the hell. I remember even like you. Oh, I almost got a Griff dog, and I think one of the rules was like it could be any kind of dog slash bird hybrid, but you
Oh,
have
yeah,
to follow
right.
a set amount of rules. And I was like, that's sick as hell. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
there was a lot of exploration with it. And I think as an artist, you're taking your artistic expression and then going, okay, well, what do I want to say with this character? What do I think is really interesting? What grabs me? So for the Sunseer, I really liked that he is an older man. I really liked that
he
he had
certainly is.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, well, I think this should be an undershot. I also really want to play with the sun and have a lot of like bouncing light, really yellow, play with the
Yeah.
yellows and blues.
Right.
So it's easier for me when I set up a set of guidelines and I don't make it too vague. So I think what I ended up doing was, what is the core identity of this character? What is the core color palette
Right.
of
Right.
the group? And then I just kind of did some thumbnails and worked from there.
And you're not like when you say color palette, you're not like grabbing colors like hex codes or anything. You're talking about just like the feel of the expression. Like, okay, we're in this family,
Yeah, like where are we on the color wheel?
Right,
So
yeah, exactly.
Sunseer, the refractory is yellow and blue.
Right.
So I stayed around yellow and blue. I kind of maybe shifted around on the color wheel with it, but I stayed within those
Yeah,
zones.
exactly. Which is nice because like in a card game, like art is there to reinforce a lot of gameplay, and so one of the things that we actually struggle with is like when you start to get a complicated grid, you really need to know like whose is whose, because
Yeah.
unlike Magic where there's actually space in between your stuff, like in our game it all kind of goes together. So like chess needs to have white and black pieces, like we need to have color as our thing. So we appreciate that. Yeah, one thing I actually really like about Sunseer is it's the for lack of a better term, it's like the happiest landscape in Gudnak that I've seen. Like a lot of Gudnak is like pretty,
Yeah.
like it's set at the end of times, and so there's like a lot of dismal. But like it reinforces his character that like like he walks around kind of like with this like bright sunlight around him because he's like he's got the sun god. So it's really cool that like you incorporated that or were thinking about that bouncing light because he always stands out to me when I'm looking at Gudnak cards because I'm like, oh, look at that like very vibrant scene where like everyone's like kind of a little bit happier, you know. And then I look over here and it's like the dying sun and like skeletons and stuff, and I'm like, it seems more nice to be around him. Do you remember? Were you doing all of one faction first and then, or were you bouncing around when you were doing it?
I'm trying to recall. I think I just did them all at. I think I did different factions first.
Yeah.
Like I did all the illustrations around the same time.
Yeah.
I think I did it in like a week or two.
Yeah, it was
I don't
pretty
really
quick
recall.
once you got going. I remember.
Yeah, once I have what I need, like once the design phase is out of the way, I can blast stuff out. That's what. Thankfully, that is a superpower that I withhold, is that I am fast once I get to it.
Fast
for better or for
and
worse.
busy, from what I know about you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think I thumbnailed everything because I wanted all the compositions to feel distinct from each other. I also wanted stuff within the same grouping to have echoes of the same idea. I think I gave the shard group, like the magenta group, I'm giving it the wrong name. I try to give them like a kind of ghostly forest kind of feel with like fog and like
that's
stuff
cool
coming out
vibe
of
to them.
stone.
Is like a little bit like like that foggy background.
I felt like it helped all their details stand out. So
right.
yes, to answer your question.
Yeah. It's really cool. It's like it makes that forest like feel bigger than it is. Like I mean, you're for both of these ones I'm looking at, there's like 3 trees, but then like that fog just is like, oh my gosh, like they're like deep in it. It's like almost a cool trick that you're playing with, like especially on the Chimera. It's like a pretty simple background, but it reads very like of a place because it's got that little fog to it. It's really cool. So then one thing I wanted to ask about while we're talking about the Shardsworn is I don't know if you've seen one of these in person, but I have one of these on me. And if you'll notice,
so cool.
There's 2 shard dragons on here. And that's because we spot foiled the shard dragon. Yeah. And so that reaction tells me everything. So were you given instructions that they were going to be spot foiled? Like, did you know that was going to happen?
No.
Wow. We
Not at all.
pulled a fast one on you.
I know. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I know. Because the way that it came out is, I mean, they spot foiled like all of the dragon's magenta details. It looks intentional. Oh, the same with the Bullgriff Rider too. It looks intentional, but I guess that was done after the fact. I guess next time we've got to do better. We got to like let you know earlier, right?
If you give me a template next time, that will work. You want me to actually break your heart?
No.
On Sunseer.
No.
The clipping on the art is wrong, and there is a grass that is just like hard stopped before the edge of the frame. So you just see a gap. And it drives me crazy every time I look at it.
You know, like when people point out like when kerning is wrong in titles and like you see it as 2 words.
Yes.
And you can't, you've just done this to me. You've cursed me. You've cursed me with this thing.
Well, if I'm cursed with it, you now have to be cursed.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. All right, so I want to talk a little bit now. You've talked about your work in Gudnak. Like, let's talk about your work on your game. So, we've talked a lot about this podcast about how art and lore go together. So, tell me about the world of Powerwell. Did that come from your brain, or was that in someone else's brain first? Like, how do you take lore and incorporate that into art, and vice versa?
It was a collaborative effort between all 4 of us. We all have different stories that we really resonate with. We really wanted to go down the fantasy angle. I love fantasy. It's fun for me. But we didn't want it to feel too D&D because I feel like there's enough D&D fantasy stuff out here. At the time, we were all reading different Brandon Sanderson books.
Oh, there you go.
It's actually quite funny because it came about because when we were making it a tower game, we were like, oh, well, what should we skin the tower as? And it was a well. And so, well, we're pulling power from the well. Oh, it's power well. Okay, so how do we make a story around the idea of pulling power from a well? And then it just kind of fully tumbled from there.
That's so cool. Like when one detail can create all these subsequent decisions. Like, do you have an example of one of those decisions of like how the pulling, like how did you justify the power coming out of the well?
In the sense of like from a game mechanic side or from a lore
From the
side?
lore.
Yeah, so when you view a well, right? And you view it from its core basics. Not only is it something that you pull water up from, but there's also like lore and mythology and stories about making a wish at the well.
Oh,
And we
cool.
thought that was really precious and wonderful.
Yeah.
And so as you lose health in our game, you lose coins because you are losing coins that you can wish at the well. And when you're out of coins, you cannot make any
Cool.
wishes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So the idea then became that all of our heroes have 3 coins or however many coins, and they are fighting because we are a fighting game
Yeah.
to get to the well to make a wish and unleash the power that is within to do whatever they so wish. It's a monkey's paw, of course, which is very
Sure.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
We love it when things are gray and not just
Yeah,
black
yeah.
and white. And I think it just kind of built itself from there.
That's so cool. I
We were
love
just really
that.
interested in that.
It's so cool. Like I talked about this on this podcast before, but like how games can tell stories, and in for some reason, like I guess you have this brain too, where like it clicks. You're like, yeah, of course that story makes sense. It doesn't really make sense because like what we're talking about is all made up. But like I'm like, oh yeah, of course you'd have coins at the well. You got to wish at the well. That's
Yeah,
so
of
cool.
course.
And so then, how did Powerwell the universe make it into Fates? Powerwell Fates, the card game. Like, did you like know that that universe was going to stay, or those characters were going to stay? Are they the same characters, or are we talking about different folks?
So, for context for people watching, Powerwell started as a different type of board game. It was going to be expensive to produce, but I think it's set in a different period of time.
Oh,
Because
cool.
whenever a character makes a wish, which the idea was whoever, if we ever went to make and made tournaments, we'd be like, oh, well, whoever wins the tournament like gets to make the wish, and then the wish changes the world forward going into further seasons. And so Fates is a different timeline. Well, time in Powerwell,
Got
so
it.
that we can
Yeah.
kind of play with whatever we want.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you all are interesting because you're the first game company that's ever produced a spin-off game before the original game, like which I think I was
It's
honestly
now the main game at this point, but
it was just so cool. It was like you like were producing Paper Mario before Mario ever existed. You were like, oh, look at this.
Paper Mario was the better game.
You know,
So
I was just talking to Farsky about this. I think so too. It's a sick game. That's so cool. So did you reuse any art pieces whole, or were you redoing because you were going into a card game at this point, right?
fully redid. If anything, I would say the stuff for the board game was like a viz dev, like conceptual
Right.
kind of pass. I
Right.
feel like it really helped us figure out the bones of the story. Like the initial characters for the board game was Beast Hunter, Painter, and Knight. Those characters kind of stayed around the same. I did a little bit of like character design shuffling, but everybody since then has been fully made for Fates. And so I learned a lot about what that world was. We learned that we wanted to have exaggerated character designs. We wanted it to like Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear is very exaggerated,
Yeah,
very
right,
fun.
right.
Like let's meld that with fantasy.
Right.
It's not full exaggerated like Guilty Gear. I would hate to say that we're anywhere close.
No,
'cause
but
they're
I know what
crazy
you mean.
and they're awesome.
Like this Knight has nothing to do with this Painter. Like they're so
Yeah.
visually distinct, you know, which I
Yeah,
appreciate.
exactly. And each character needed to say something a little bit different about the world. So we like stories with games, and we wanted to give anybody who did play the game who wanted to engage with that something to feel like excited about, like
Yeah.
a reward for caring, right?
I
So
love that. Yeah.
each character needed to have a distinct voice.
So what types of cards do you have in Fate? So do you have like fighters and then ability like or effects type of things? And
That's a
then
fair question.
yeah.
So each hero has their own deck.
Ooh,
Each
okay.
hero will have 3 of each color. The game is based off of color because you're picking up colored cards and you're making matches. It's
Cool.
basically like Battle Candy Crush, right? So you're
Fun.
making matches in the shared mana pool, and then you can pay for the color of the card in your hand. You know all the cards in your hand. This is not like hidden
Yeah.
from you. The other opponent knows what cards are in your hand. This is a fighting game. We know your moves.
Yeah. Cool.
So you place it out on the track based off its matching color. So each hero has those amount of abilities. Each hero does have different kits, right, that they play with and interact with. That's what makes each hero distinct.
Very cool.
So some heroes have like item cards, spell cards, etc.
And to do the art for those, did you have to take one character and kind of render them like doing the actual moves? Like so, like when we're using a move, is it like the character fighting?
Yeah, we actually really wanted each card to be unique.
That's so
So
cool.
I actually had the designers. They didn't have to, but I was like, if you care, and they do care. I was like, give me a bunch of references of like poses that you want to see your character in.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah, I enjoy like giving my designers the space to be like, I'm your artist. I'll make your life a dream if you just give it to me, and it makes my
Yeah,
life easier. I
yeah.
don't have to worry about designing. And so I just drew a bunch of poses of them fighting, and it's meant to make you feel like you're part of the character and
That's
have identity.
so one thing that we've never had to do since we're, like a summoning type of game like Magic,
Yeah,
where like is when you see a character, like that's basically when you see the character, you don't really get them doing a lot of stuff. Sometimes on tactics you do, but it's not like we render the same character 10 or 15 times. But it sounds like you've had to create these characters that almost have like real anatomy because they have to be able to like do things, right? So do you have like
yeah.
I'm coming at this from a complete novice perspective. Like, do you have like a reference for them, like a Vitruvian Man version of the of the painter? Like these are the like. How do you make sure that when it's kicking, you're like, okay, this is obviously this dude kicking versus.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, I'm the one who made the characters, so if I don't have a reference, I just make it up on the spot and then I add that
Oh,
to the reference pool. But I was trained, or at least self-trained, as an animator. 2D animation was the first thing I ever did, and it's what actually inspired me to
God,
get into
yeah,
games and
cool,
animation.
yeah.
So when I make my references and when I design characters, I think about them in motion.
Oh wow,
So it makes it easier.
yeah, that's really neat. Is there like a trick to doing that? Is there like a certain set of poses that you like are thinking about when you design a character?
Uh, I mean, that's a really fair question. I will design a character in the standard like standing pose, one hand shown, etc. Like just so I can think about the outfit. But I am thinking while drawing it, is this annoying to draw? Can I
Oh
find
really?
places where this goes to? Like rulers. Like does the gown go all the way down to the mid calf or does it
Oh
go down to the
cool.
ankle
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that I can ground myself when the character is moving? If that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, that
So
makes sense. Like that you have like kind of the trick. But you said there's a standard pose. Wait, like you said that as if everyone knows that. No one knows that. What, so the
oh,
standard
that's
pose
fair.
is like,
Well, if you're 3D modeling, it'll be either an A pose, which is like I'm being crucified but lower,
this
or
sounds a
a
lot
T
like
pose.
Vitruvian Man, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I don't draw like that. Brawler, for
Okay.
example, Brawler is a character that fights by kicking. So her character design needs to support that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure somebody looks at it and be like, damn, those are some thick thighs. And she's
Some
destroying
Chun
some
Li type
lives.
action. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, that was one of the inspirations.
Yeah. They knew what they were doing.
And
Like they knew what they were
they
doing.
knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I was happy to draw a strong, muscular woman
Yeah.
because I
Let's
love muscular
go.
women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so in her first drafts, I was just drawing her in a bunch of different like action poses because I wanted to see what are the trailing elements I want to see that help support poses that support leg fighting.
Yeah. Very cool. All right, Sam. So you said that you were going to be at PAX West next, where we can see you. You will
Yeah.
have demos of Fates available there. Is that right?
I think hopefully because we already have like stock.
Nice.
I think we'll have demos and I think we can start selling.
Let's
Yay! So if you want
go.
to have
Do
faith,
some
you may have it.
commerce. Yeah,
Yay!
cool. Um,
And then we always have games in progress, so we might have another demo. We haven't really solidified what we're doing for West Kite yet.
one of the most amazing things about catching up with you at conventions is that you have a completely new idea somehow on the table every time we talk to you. And I'm like, I thought that
Hmm.
you were a card game, and you're like, no, we do dice, and you're fighting a monster now. And I was like, okay, like,
Oh,
and that
Titans! I
that
love
game was
Titans.
sick, by the way. Like, I don't know what happened to it or if it's going anywhere, but it's so cool to like go. So yeah, go check them out. RPG Co. or Red Planet Games. They might be listed as, or just look around for Sam. We'll be at PAX West too. Sam, we've been making binders for artists of a bunch of their cards, so we can make sure that you get one, as long as you promise to sign some cards for people if they come up and ask. But it's been really fun. We have like a whole pile of Samland art like this out there in the
Yay!
office, and we'll put it in a nice binder for you. So come find Sam at PAX West. Follow them on social media at RPG Co.
Splash of Bantha.
Oh, Splash Samantha. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna
Well,
shout out
Splash
the
of Bantha if you want to. Yeah.
I was gonna shout out the game company. You're like, no, no, no. Look at my
No,
stuff.
no, no. It's me here, not Miles.
Yeah, that's
No.
true.
Um,
Yeah, get your own
we are
podcast,
hoping
Miles.
to have, yeah, we're hoping to have our website up so that people can also buy it online. But we're trying to make sure that our Kickstarter
Yeah.
backers are taken care of first because they're our primary concern and we want to take care of them. But yeah, I think it's RPG Go.
Yeah,
That's something.
whatever.
Uh,
We'll put it in the show notes.
if
We'll
you,
put it in the show notes.
yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Sam. This was so fun catching up with you and getting to talk about your art, which really I love so much. I know that you're not going to take that compliment without being bashful, but it's really so amazing. I've loved working with you. I can't wait to keep working with you and keep watching you guys make cool stuff at cons.
Thank you. And same to you. I always love seeing your booth get bigger and bigger and be more successful.
Oh yeah, we're at the maximum of what we think we can be. It's, it's getting too large.
Well, that's a sick booth. I'm fucking obsessed with it.
Yeah,
And the art is peak as always.
All right, Sam. See you later.